Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Think about what?
No pledge.
Oh, there's no pledge?
Did you hear it?
I didn't hear it.
I know. Should we say it? Let's say it.
Yeah.
All right, stand up.
Yeah.
Here we go. Everybody, let's do the pledge on our own today. Oh, here it comes.
One more nothing. Please stand for the
Look
pledge.
at that. Look at that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a great day, everybody.
That'll do, eh? Sorry, online students, I didn't have that presented for you. Okay, everybody needs to have their Chromebook out. You need to go to today's folder and go to the warm-up questions. If you're ahead of the game, look at you go. Nicely done. But right now, that's what you need to do. Online students also, let me present so I can show you what I'm talking about. We should be getting into the habit by now. You can look at my sweet Bitmoji and look at I'm riding a
Crayfish?
lobster. I typed in apparently it's a lobster, but yes, it looks very similar to crayfish. And here are our targets. I'll tell you our targets are 3, 4, and 8, so that's what you should choose. 3, 4, and 8. Yeah. We're in the 30th week of the school year. Tuesday, April 6th. Wow. All right, I got 5 responses so far. I need 17 is what I'm looking for.
I'm getting there.
Okay. Boy.
Is anyone from online going to be transferring into school?
I don't think so.
Hopefully not.
Who broke their 4-wheeler?
Not hard.
You did? Oh no. I'm sorry to hear that. How'd you break it?
Mud.
Mud?
That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. Who went to the brewery game?
Teenager had thinking, oh, that'd be fun.
Which one did you go to?
The one on
Sunday?
Saturday. No,
The
Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday. Against.
I
mean, my dad broke the
When they were
I got tired.
brutal?
The back.
Got hurt.
And I forgot to mention, I broke the.
Who watched a house burn?
Me.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I just sat there and watched the house burn.
And you went
That's
fishing? Did you
satisfying.
catch anything?
I would've went out
Yeah,
there with the
couple
little
catfish.
rascals with the
We went
Catfish?
on the Wisconsin River.
marshmallows and
Nice.
just standing there.
all the times I've
Who hid Easter eggs for their brother? Might be online students.
I did that. My brother quickly found
Who
it.
broke paddle balls? What are 7 paddle balls? Like the game?
Yes.
2 days.
You broke 7 of them?
Yeah.
Oh my. Maybe try a new hobby, eh? I'm just messing with you. Who did lots?
I did.
Okay.
Okay, so my uncle's a cop,
Yeah.
so I decided to go up to him, tell him I'm wanted in 52 countries. I've committed arson 14 times. I have 500,000 kids in my basement, and a bunch more. And I tried to sell him drugs, and he didn't do anything. He's clearly not that good of a cop.
That's interesting.
And whoever the targets, and if he calls immigration,
3, 4, and 8.
we're gonna have to commit arson again.
Who ate chocolate? I'm jealous. I want some.
Wait, you're talking about chocolate.
Chocolate is good.
Yes.
Did you
Agreed.
guys hear about the 2-year-old that got his head ran over?
No, I don't know if I want to hear about that on this dreary Tuesday morning. That sounds awful. All right, then we're going to go over it. I have 11 responses. That's not nearly 17, but I can't wait around that long. So everybody get in the habit of doing this, please, every class period. So our targets were 3, 4, and 8. First question, a crayfish is a crustacean, true or false?
Well, untrue.
True, yes, it is a crustacean. Okay, it's an aquatic arthropod with 10 walking legs. Okay, and then the next one, it says all arthropods must shed their exoskeleton. What is the name of this process? Melting, molting, molding, or taking off your jacket? Ava? Molting, yeah, molting is what it is. All arthropods do it because their exoskeleton does not grow with them. And then what did you do on your long weekend? I talked to some of you about it. Anybody else want to share anything that they did on their long weekend?
I didn't do it, but the dad watched the axle on our side by side.
Jeez, what's everybody breaking
Just
everything?
snapped
How about we
pretty much like
create
half,
something?
almost perfectly.
Okay, so here we are. Now, today we have a couple things that we're going to do, and this will get a little bit, not hectic, but it's going to be different because we're going to have to move to Mr. Kempfert's room at some point to get started on our dissection.
We're doing a dissection today.
Yes.
Yeah, it says that.
First, let me
Oh,
First, let me
Bottom floor.
get something. So your Chromebooks can be closed. We'll look at an outline for this week, just to get everybody informed. I know it's not on my board right now, but we'll look at an outline. And for those of you that are wondering where you can find this outline, I post it every week in the updates section right here. Then it's also in our materials. That is where you should be going anyway, Parker, and you go into week 30. Week 30 outline must view. When I say must view, that means you must view it, and about 2% of you do. So that's why we're going over it. No school yesterday. Today, we're going to measure marigolds. We're going to be in our crayfish dissection. Wednesday, of course, tomorrow you get another virtual learning day. You'll have a textbook assignment. Thursday, we will finish the crayfish dissection. So it's important that you label the bag that you put your crayfish in today so that you are able to pick it right back up where you left off on Thursday. And then Friday, we have more measuring of the marigolds, and you will complete the dissection quiz. So important that we are studying our dissection, because remember, these don't just automatically come. Here are the targets we'll cover this week. Any questions on what's happening? So a lot of crayfish this week. Cool, and marigolds. All right. Okay, so let's start with that, shall we? We shall. Let's start with the marigolds. We are going to measure. So one person in your group needs, one person needs to go grab your packet, and one person needs to have a Chromebook. Okay, and then you need to get with your partner. So packets are up there behind that green basket.
Are you speaking Chinese or what?
What? Chinese? I like Chinese food.
Oh,
Dang, it looks like short.
Not the crayfish packet. You need your packet that you. I mean, you'll eventually need that. Oh yeah, both of you will need it. There you go. I made copies. So here, yours.
Yeah.
No, I made copies of separate.
That's all I need.
how short are you?
Dayton, you need yours? Who else needs theirs? Zach, did you grab yours? Do you have it? Okay, then with your partner, go find your marigolds, your control and your variable, and bring it to your desk.
The partner makes me do work. I can say it with murder and control because I'm murdering tiny little animals. What do you mean? Like,
So one of you can look at the control, one of you can look at the variable, however you want to do it.
I'm so glad. Don't have to.
I saw the class of 2 seeds and
Pretty
1
tricky, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Never make me walk around.
Okay. What's the matter with walking around?
Everything.
Here we go, fellas. Make sure you pick the correct one. Most of them sprouted up. Some may not have. If not,
Only one.
please let me know.
Only one.
Nice.
Ooga!
Okay, here's what's gonna happen.
This is the one that took last.
All right, here's what's gonna happen. On your sheet here,
You want a spanking?
on your sheet, you're gonna turn to this page, right? You're gonna go down to the third one. And you're gonna write your observations in those cells as you see them. So I'll give you an example from years past.
What day is it today?
Today is April 6th. That'd be 4/6/21. So here is what they did from 4 years ago. So here she has it. In her control, what do you think L stands for? 2L. 2L, 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 2L. What do you think 2L stands for?
I have no clue.
Okay.
2 in
Then-
the left corner.
Nope. Then she has 30 millimeters, 20 millimeters, 22 millimeters, 17 millimeters. What's that?
The height.
Oh, length and width.
The height, right? Yeah, whoever said height, good job. You are going to measure in centimeters. What do you think the L means? Now that I gave you this, this is the height. What else are we measuring or finding out? Yes, Ava. Not length. That's okay. I'll tell you that down here, March 29th, it is now 4L. So there's a larger number, yeah. Number of leaves, yes. So in here, what I want you to write is somehow in your packet, in your control, make sure you're looking at the same one every single time. So I feel like I should be, let me see, Sawyer, let me see yours. Bring your, make sure you are looking at it the same way every single time. And if you take out this label, you need to put it back in the exact same place, right? Do not put it in a different place. Why? Why does that matter so much? Why does that matter so much, Ryan?
Because it could, if you put it in the wrong spot, you could hurt your marigold.
Not necessarily. I'm not really worried about that. What if I take this marker and I put it over in this corner?
Because then you're looking at the wrong spot.
And you'll be looking at different marigolds the next time you look at it, right, Aiden? And your data could be skewed. So instead of looking at number 1, you might be actually looking at number 6, right? Okay. Now, is it the end of the world? Will the world stop spinning? No, but your data will be wrong and you'll be measuring the wrong thing, right? Okay. So when you are looking, the way that we've decided to set it up, or at least the way that I decided to set it up, is I put the marker in my top left, or this would be cell number 1. Okay, remember they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so then I need to look at that and write down number of leaves and how tall it is. Remember, what are we measuring in?
Centimeters.
Centimeters. Okay, so take your ruler and look at the centimeters side so you can come get this. Okay, while one of you is doing the measuring, the other of you should be getting out your Chromebook. And you need to go to Schoology.
Do you want to spank or do you want to measure it? Okay, fine.
Go to our computer.
Go to Schoology. On Schoology, the first thing says what?
Marigold observation report.
Mm-hmm. So one of you is filling this out. You will also have to fill it out in your packet. So you can maybe alternate while you do this, but you can help measure. So date of the sample, you gotta click on the calendar, select today. Who's your science teacher? Mr. Dayton. So one of you, Sawyer or Aiden, needs to do this.
I'll do it.
Ryan or Parker, one of you needs to do this.
Yeah,
Zach, looks like you got it for your group. Okay. Remember your lab group. If you don't remember your lab group, it should be on your
Front page.
label, right? Should be on your label and your front page. Should be in your brain. Should be multiple places. So I'm choosing O because O is not actually a group. I'm gonna hit next for I'm period 1. We're gonna follow this pattern. See, this is a nice little diagram for you. My control is the first one I'm measuring, right? Measure your control first. How many leaves on control 1? I'm gonna say 2, not 22. If they're all 2, great. Some of them might have 0 yet. Maybe they didn't sprout. Maybe something is wrong with your seed. Maybe it wasn't planted great. I don't know. Okay. So you go through and find all of your leaves, or type in the number of leaves on all of your controls. The other person should be writing it in their packet. You can be putting this on to your packet as well. Okay. Then you would go next. Then you would measure your height of the control for each of them in centimeters. Guess what? If it's less than 1 centimeter, let's say it's 7 millimeters, right? How many millimeters are in a centimeter? 10. If it's 7 millimeters, how would I write that in centimeters? 0.7. You nailed it. Okay. Right? Don't write 7 millimeters because that's going to register as centimeters. And it's going to be like, you're going to look at that first set data point and be like, wait, on the first day that we measured, I had a 7 centimeter, even when it was 0.7 centimeters, right? 0.7. 7/10 of a centimeter, if you want to put it that way. Okay, and then you go to your variable next. Okay. Anybody have questions? I'm assuming there will be, so I'm going to walk around and help out. Online students, you kind of just get to be along for the ride at this moment in time. Okay, so stay tuned.
You gotta force children to come back. I'm gonna grab you by the hand and throw you off the bridge.
Do it. No. I feel
I'll die.
keep going. Just stop here.
Measure it from, good question, measure it from like the soil. Okay, so try to set your ruler up as close as you can to your marigold without, disrupting it or displacing
What is
it.
that? I actually didn't.
Okay,
I did it.
and yeah. So it looks like most of us have at least 2 leaves. Maybe some of you have a third. I don't.
Control 1, I'm pretty sure this is control, you have less control for it.
This is control card.
Okay, so both of you have to get them written in your packet. One of you has to record it for the correct group on your Chromebook. Then over on the observation, tell anything that you observed, or what did you do today? Okay.
Numbers only?
Then, if you'd like to take a picture, you can do so. Use your Chromebook and upload that picture. I don't see anything that's, well, maybe this one.
You cannot write in here.
Oh,
Sentence.
one slashed.
No, what did I tell you?
Numbers only.
You remember? No?
Ah,
Scroll up. All measurements are in centimeters. What's the next part say?
Oh.
no labels needed.
There you go, sir.
Oh,
labels
on a
needed.
period doesn't measure mine.
No labels needed. It will reject if you put cm or centimeters.
So we put CM over box.
Yeah, you would. That'd be great. Perfect. Yep. You in your packet can write, like 1.1 centimeter if you'd like. Okay.
0.5.
Why does my foot? Why me?
Alright, let's look at your number 1. You gotta measure more.
What isn't even good, bro? I'm like, it's just bad.
What if we have 2 and 1 here?
You think that's worth writing down?
0.1.
Yeah, I just put it down as, I just put it down as 2, like, 2.
Yeah, I would write it down. I'd say like, hey, look at this. We have 2. Maybe I accidentally put 2 seeds or something like that. And that can be one of your observations. Write that down so people are aware of it.
Okay,
Good
now
stuff.
we're on to the other one. Number of leaves, they all have 2. Perfect. So one of them did absolutely nothing. The other one took las drogas. And it's
When you are done, go put them next to each other,
one is
In
1.5.
the tray on the counter.
And last one's 1.2.
No earning, 0 box like a fish.
And
Make a variable 1.
Make sure it's written down and
Teacher Ben.
1,
Engine because. Okay,
1, and then 0.05.
0.05. That can't
One
be like,
is the
that'd be like
1.
That's half of
0.5 million.
First one's 1.5. Second one is
5
2.
5 to system.
And then 0.
We can't put spaces, so I can't like measure 2.
1.5.
Just do it all.
oh,
That's 2.
then I would say on here,
Yeah,
you're gonna have to choose 1.
Then
Oh,
you
gosh.
the 2 centimeters.
1.5.
Pick
Or
the one.
And then the third one 0.
But in your packet, you can make it
1.5.
measurable. When you have everything recorded, put your packets up front,
And point, these are centimeters, right?
the smaller ones.
This?
Put your centimeters.
What are the heights?
Just that.
Do they all?
Got it measured in centimeters? Okay, one. You need to help him if he's also doing the variable. Remember, you are measuring both people, both.
Yep, those 2.
What are the heights of them?
So which one did you measure?
Hold on.
Well, that one was flipped, so I'm not gonna flip, so down
But-
I'll check.
I submitted it.
You know anything?
I can't do that.
How did that measure it?
I don't measure it.
Okay, so, then, hold on.
Let's see if my measurements are better than.
This one's 1.3. No, well, yeah, that one's 1.3. When I did the apple.
Okay, then you should find this calendar
It's 1.3.
in your packet.
This one is.
Obviously, this is from 2016, so it's not accurate, but find April 6th, tell what you did, measured. Maybe a snippet of what happened. Leaves started, maybe one wasn't growing. Something that can fit in that small box, right? We measured, we saw leaves. There you go. We're gonna record when we measure so that we are consistent in our data collection.
This one's a half. Did you weren't paying attention to what I was doing, were you? You did it all along, you have to erase all that.
A variable.
And you just decided to write it. You did to erase all of them.
Now the this one's one.
I think you're sugar crash. Okay, so the first one,
Yeah, 1.5. Yes, I got it.
the first one is 1.3.
And then it goes 1.5. This one's 1, that one's 1. Parker, I think you're on track today.
Do me the favor. Actually, hold on, I'll do it on my own.
Okay, let me look.
And then I can show you.
Parker's high.
I'm not high. You can do a breathalyzer on me right now.
This is on track.
That's
What was the last one? The second to last one?
You know, I'm just gonna do it and then I'm gonna show you.
Parker's been doing that. Sorry, you're clever. Sorry, you don't remember.
And you're both cheated on me, but then you're really big ass cheated on you, but you cheated on me.
It's 8:06,
No,
so.
no, no, that's not how come. You cheated on me.
Parker, I think you're higher than that.
I can't talk.
Getting in camera.
Because my talking is not correct.
Okay, everybody good
No.
or no? Okay, if you're done, you can put it back on the tray. Make sure your control is next to your variable, everybody. So you are back to, you know, where you started.
Okay, so is it 4, 6, or 9?
Parker, you really doing that. I'm sorry.
No.
Tell me to go.
Drogas. The first one is 1.3.
Yeah, I got that.
Second one is
Are we going to our?
We're going to eventually, yep. Packets can go up on the front table. Make sure your packet is with your partner's packet to make it easier on you in the future.
Yeah, you're just throwing numbers. Oh my God.
Dude.
Your measurements are worse than mine.
No, they're not.
You said it was worse before you doubled it.
No, I'm just supposed to be doing that on the computer, right? We already did it on the computer. I'm not.
Okay, everybody good?
Hey, think of them back.
Where do you want the rulers?
So I gotta start in the-
Yeah, great question. Rulers can go right up on that chair up there, the wheelie chair. Okay, then we need to, eventually, we're gonna head down to Mr. Kempert's room. Everyone can bring their stuff with them. So backpacks on, Chromebooks and everything in your backpack. We're gonna try to make this efficient and effective as possible. How will that all work? I hope.
Also,
Okay,
we're just gonna
I
leave
need
them
one
there.
volunteer
I'll volunteer. I don't even know what it is.
to grab my crayfish.
I will carry you crayfish.
Okay, online students, I'm going to try to transfer you
Ray just had to
via
wait
this
for that.
Chromebook of mine. That means I'm gonna mute this. I'm going to take my Chromebook down and then log into Mr. Comforts. So we'll see in a if they weren't like okay, all right. Okay, so let's head down. I need more volunteers
I'll volunteer again.
to grab this.
I'll volunteer.
I think you should probably put that in your backpack.
Oh my God. I have terrible
And then
handwriting.
I need those bags.
That even funny.
Come on, do I have this?
Yeah, it goes.
Sorry about that.
Parker, why are you on?
I'm not.
What's yours?
Okay. That one is me.
Parker, the area down the bottom today.
Here we go.
What do you think you would be if you went to teacher?
I wish. I don't know. I feel like we're missing people too.
Oh, Ryan and Carter.
Yep.
I wondered why. I think they went down.
I wondered why.
Okay, go have a seat. I'll come grab that later. All right. They went down to Mammals? That's not very
I'm pretty
smart.
sure they would.
That's not very smart.
Oh, I thought it was told
Yeah.
All right, have a seat next to someone that you're going to do this dissection with. Okay. I'm going to give you one of these.
Mr. Dayton, where's your fees?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Oh,
they went down the mammals. There they are.
Okay.
Let's go. There was no packet that I could see.
What packet?
The one that I needed.
The crayfish packet?
Yeah, we went to
All
Maryland.
right, one of your partners needs to go grab a dissection tray over there.
Wait, so I just looked at
It's an A before the N.
You literally go, oh, and then you do it anyway. You didn't even grab the tray.
I got the one thing you told me to.
You didn't tell you to grab the tray. You said grab the tray.
Grab a tray. Probably won't need a kit right now. I mean, if you want to have it, it's fine. Okay. Then one of your partners needs to go unravel some. Actually, we probably won't even need it today, to be honest. So we're basically just gonna look at the external anatomy. So choose one.
Yeah, you.
Okay. Basically, what we're looking at is the external anatomy today. So let's grab one.
I've been small.
Maybe some of you have caught these before. Maybe some of you haven't these before.
It looks the form.
It's the form. Yeah, put the crown
Alright.
on there. You know.
So
Oh my god.
I don't know how we would do that. I grabbed the running one.
What the devil do you want to do it?
No, I bet it's still good.
Oh, I come to It's hard.
It looks like it's rotting. No wonder it's dead and smells like dead crab.
How do you know what dead crab smells like?
I don't have you know I had a pet goldfish and he died from hyphy and he just swooped in with his claws and just.
we're only going to be able to look at this for about 10 minutes.
My cat ate my
Oh,
fish.
you already have a packet or no?
I do.
I don't even know.
Your
Is it?
quiz on the anatomy is on good.
I don't remember. I'm not sure they make.
Like, cut its claws off and take it home.
Barker. I want to scare my mom.
Put it in my sister's bed.
I put a garden snake in my mom's bed. She freaked out.
Because of the
so
rest
bad.
eating it on her face.
So my dad grabbed
Oh,
the
no,
knife
actually,
and
you
chopped
didn't
the
know.
head off.
Bro, they sneak into the trash can, bro.
Where do you think there is this? This is a board. No, the garbage can.
Oh, I see that one.
I mean, I would have a blue eye. I was freaking down. Bro, they literally stole
How long have these been dead?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
What are you gonna pull? Scissors?
Yeah.
Why?
We're probably gonna murder this crazy.
Try away. Who was that?
I can smell.
I don't even want to touch it.
Oh, good. Yeah,
That's
what
gross
do you think
out.
about that? You were sick. Crap.
Egg roll? Egg roll smells good.
I did not say egg roll. What did you say? Perfect Chinese.
I love egg roll.
I've never had one.
This sort of like a family that loves you. Or do you not want to talk about that?
It's blind.
No, I don't want to dissect the bones.
I need to take that home and scare my mom
I know. I don't remember
Alright,
that.
here we are.
with it.
Doesn't even have a leg. It's so
Can you hear me? Put it in the chat if
Yes.
you can. Or can't.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Do you have the volume on so you can hear them?
I want to bring this thing
Yeah,
up
but I
to
gotta.
my sister's bed.
Do it.
You want to turn that off?
I want to turn that on.
Cuts up all like somebody else. Don't worry, it's dead.
It was alive before, though.
You can hear it, me?
I think it's so weird.
Somebody try to say something.
Wants to jump on my face.
Hello?
Oh, there.
It's quiet, but you can hear
It was quiet. Okay, say something again.
Hi.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right, everybody. What am I looking at? Where is the camera coming from?
No, not molding.
All right.
It's molting with a T.
I know what that's what it's molding.
We're having some echo right now.
Because it's coming out of your computer.
Yes, that is. Yep, I understand that. We're gonna fix it
I don't look forward.
as soon as I can. All right. So I should be looking at.
Because I use like, I use like, I use like, whatever it's called. I use from like 40 to 30, meaning it's like 15 minutes.
And when we dark, it's from 30.
Okay, so we're just getting in the swing of things here. Today, you're not going to be doing much dissecting. We don't have a lot of time. We're going to be looking more at the external anatomy of a crayfish, okay? Now, many of you, maybe you've gone crayfishing before. You've found crayfish, or maybe you've eaten crayfish. Down south, they're pretty popular. They call them crawfish. Just another name for a crayfish. That's why these animals, and we've talked about this before, maybe you need a refresher on it. These animals have scientific names because they get different names depending on which region you go to, right? So like puma, cougar, those could mean the same thing, but they have the same scientific name, right? You understand what I'm getting at here? I'm trying to think of another animal where some people call it one thing and some people call it another. Anybody have anything? What's that?
A dog?
A dog?
Some people call it cow, some people can call it food.
I mean, yeah, like a rabbit and a hare or something like that. Okay. All right. So everyone should have a packet. And right now I realize online that you don't have a packet, but we're going to be looking at this right here. Here is your crayfish and it looks backwards to you. I don't know why. That's kind of befuddling, but anyway, we have 1 through 14 that we're looking at today. And I'll put this guy Actually, this looks like a gal. Let's see if I have a girl, a boy. That's what we're going to talk about right away. Very good question. Okay, so typically, these crayfish, yeah, here's a good one. This is a nice one. Okay, typically, the males will be larger than the females, but if you're holding one and it's not in relation to another one, you don't know if it's bigger or smaller than the rest of them, right? So the way you tell if it's a male or a female is you flip it to its ventral side, right? This would be belly side up, okay? And these legs back here, okay, I told you that they have 10 legs, right? Or we've talked about that. I didn't tell you that, but we researched it, okay? They have 10 walking legs. Up here, I'll count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the cheliped up here is 5. This cheliped is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bingo. All right, then back here you have these that somewhat look like legs. They're called swimmerettes, okay? Swimmerettes. Now, the way that you tell a male from a female is to look at the swimmerettes. The first pair of swimmerettes right up here. Okay, a male's swimmerettes will be tube-like and harder. Okay, what's that? We will eventually break its leg. Not right now. The male swimmerettes are tube-like and harder. So I'm looking at a male right here. A female will have more feathery, light ones. So like right here, here's a female. If I'm looking at it right here, these are more feathery, flimsy. Male, and this one is much smaller, see? Okay, now that is used for when fertilization or copulation is taking place. Yes, that's reproduction. So this swimmerette, these pair of swimmerettes are used in reproduction right here. So that's how you tell if you have a male or a female, okay? We're going to take a look at the external body parts. Let's talk about number 1. Number 1 are chela or chelipeds. Those are the first 2 walking legs that have pincers on them. See this? Those are pretty obvious. Some of you might have one with only 1 pincer because it fell off in the bag. They come in these large bags, okay? But these are also used for walking, the chela, okay? Then, number 2, we're looking at antennae. Antennae is just plural for antenna. There you have it right there. Wow, huh? Pretty sweet. Okay, then the next one, number 3, we call it the third maxilliped. It contains the maxillae and the mandible. Basically, what these appendages are to help the crayfish eat. So I'm trying to show you guys here. These right here, and if you look at your diagram on your sheet, are the maxilla and the mandible. You have a mandible and a maxilla. It's your jaw, okay? And that's what helps you to consume food. This is also what helps the crayfish to consume food. Anybody having trouble finding these? They're like above the legs, more towards the anterior end, right here. They look like they're kind of a little bit hairy.
They're right here. Like spiders.
Yeah, right here. They almost look like, yeah, good point, like fangs.
He literally said they'll be hairy. Harry Styles. At the end, I just want to cut off the tail.
Okay, next. Number 5 is, we're going to skip 4 for now. Number 5 is antennule. Okay, smaller antenna. You see those? You should be able to, it almost looks like whiskers, right? Yours doesn't have the big ones? Maybe they fell off. It's possible. Okay, number 7. These should be pretty noticeable, right? What is number 7, Sawyer? The eye, okay? Take a look at those eyes. If you ever watch a crayfish's eyes when it's live, I don't know if you have, but they're able to move independently. Okay, they have faceted compound eyes, which means they have many layers on them, kind of like insects, right? Or flies. You remember how if you've ever seen a fly eye, okay? And they can see lots of images at once. Okay, so those are the eyes, beady looking things right now. Okay? Then 8A and 8B. Well, remember, we've talked about this, but it's been a while. They have segmented body parts, right? We have the head and the thorax, but you can see right here, see this joint, everybody, that I'm pointing at? Okay, between the head and the thorax. That's fused together. That joint doesn't move. Together, if you look at 9D, what do you call a head and a thorax fused together? Go ahead, Julia. Cephalothorax. Remember how we talked about that? Anybody? Bueller? Okay, cool. Then number 10. If you've ever eaten crawfish, crayfish boil, okay, this is the part you eat. It is the abdomen. Looks like the tail, right? See this? In here are swimming muscles. That's the portion of the crayfish that you would eat. Right here, the abdomen. So we have the cephalothorax and the abdomen. All right? Number 11, the telson. Okay? That is the part of the body that houses the rectum and the anus. All right? It's part of the tail. Goes in conjecture with number 12, the uropod. So, basically, what the uropod and the telson, excuse me, not the Tesla, they make the fanned tail. See, they see this tail, pretty unique, right? And if they want to move backwards, what do you think they can do? Yes, for sure. How would they propel themselves backwards, though?
Oh, with their tail?
Yeah, right. They would use that tail and like whoosh, whip it forward. Nice. Okay. Then flip it over again and take it back to where I was talking about the swimmerettes. Right here. Those, yeah, well, they have more than 10 legs, Mr. Dayton. You might be saying that. Yeah, they have 10 walking legs, okay? And that's number 14. Okay, so what we're going to do now, I want you, this will aid in our dissection as we move forward. What you're going to do is remove the legs. You're going to break them off just like this. Okay, so that you're eventually left with somewhat of a stump. All the walking legs. You know what? Leave the chela for now, actually. The pinchers, yeah. The chelepeds. Oops, I ripped out some of the gills. So you see, everybody try not to do what I just did. Everybody look at this. See what I did? I ripped a little too hard, and I took out this feathery thing here. Those are the gills of the crayfish. So what happens is these crayfish, in order for the gills to better diffuse gas, exchange of gas, right? Oxygen and carbon dioxide, they need more surface area on their gills because their gills are tightly compacted. So they move their legs, and that is connected to the gills. You can clearly see that, right? Look at this, my leg connected to the gills. So try your best to just kind of snap it off without ripping out the gills, okay? And you know what? I will have you remove the chela. So eventually you are left with a stump, all right? Now, what I want you to do is focus towards the tail here. Okay? And you should be able to see, fellas.
Hold on, we're still getting it.
Yeah, I don't like the way that we are using those tools, though.
Don't worry, we're using them safely.
Okay, towards the tail here, you see this opening that I'm pointing at. That is the anus. Okay, a crayfish has a complete digestive system, a one-way digestive tract. Food goes in the mouth and is excreted eventually through the anus, like you and I, unlike some of the organisms that we've studied, such as the jellyfish, such as, what's that? Starfish, where they have to eat out of their mouth and essentially excrete some things out of their mouth as well. Okay, so that's about as far as we're going to get today. Oh, actually, what I want you to pay special mind to is this. It almost looks like an arrow up at the front of its head. That's its rostrum, number 6. Okay. It's a nose-like structure. It's used more for protection of its brain, protection of its eyes, even though its eyes are still exposed. Okay. But that is its rostrum. All right. So, what I want you to do now is one of you grab a storage bag, put in your, whatchamacallit, your crayfish. I have a Sharpie. Put your name. The storage bags are right up here.
What about like the legs and what about the legs?
The legs can be discarded of in the trash.
Hey, can I have a plastic bag so I can take a one to my mom that's here with it?
No, you can go catch one. Aren't you a big fisherman?
Yeah, but I don't want to keep it. And this one's already dead.
Yeah, you're right.
All of it, even the pictures?
Throw the pinchers away. Okay. Online students, you are free to go. Yeah, I would wash your hands.